In Tati's video, she mentioned that she was disgusted and had to apologize to her family for me apparently saying things that I wanted to do to a waiter and then justifying those actions by saying I am a celebrity. Okay, this literally did not happen. What did happen is that me, Jeffrey, Nate, and my best friend Drew all flew to Seattle to surprise Tati for her birthday on February 14th. That night, we went out to dinner with Tati and James and her whole family, and we're in a restaurant. There was a cute boy across the restaurant that I kept making eye contact with and that I was interested in. And the conversation of dating for me and Jeffrey both came up at the dinner table, and we were talking about it for a very, very short period of time. The conversation never got inappropriate. Period. The boy that was involved with the story is named Sam. Now, when I originally wanted to do this video addressing everything, I did plan on crossing his name and keeping him completely private, but he has since come out and made a video of his own talking about the situation, just like Tati, leaving out many, many details. But in his video, and in the screenshots that I have, Sam mentioned that he was perfectly fine and found the flirting that I was doing flattering. So I'm not really sure why this got turned into something much bigger, but it simply was not.
And he was looking at me. Later on that night, he started talking to the other employees about me, asking me if I had a Valentine. This was on Valentine's Day, where he especially thought that I was very attractive and he wanted to get my phone number and all that. But the wait staff at my restaurant didn't let that happen. He left and it kind of just went untalked about.
The I'm a celebrity thing is really incredibly frustrating to me because this is an inside joke between my friends and I that Tati has also participated in, and she twisted this to be something far worse than what it is. This is the joke that really is where we say I'm famous, not I'm a celebrity, and it's something that we don't say in public very often because without context, I get it, it looks and sounds really, really bad, trust me. Literally, famous is synonymous with anything good. So yeah, if my YouTube video does well one day, my friends will say, oh my God, James, you're so famous. But literally, if my friend takes a good Instagram photo, oh my God, you're so famous. If our boneless buffalo wings at Chili's are extra delicious one day, oh my God, these wings are so, so famous. It has nothing to do at all with fame, power, or money, which is what Tati alluded it to being. And it is so frustrating that she turned an innocent and funny inside joke that she has participated in into something so beyond disgusting. I'm going to try my best to make a long story very short. The next day, Sam slid into my DMs first and I happened to see it. We started talking back and forth and he mentioned that he was flattered by me flirting with him the night beforehand.
Sorry about last night, you're very attractive. And then I responded with, it's all good, very flattering actually.
A few minutes into the conversation, I asked him about his sexuality and he told me straight up that he was bisexual.
Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay.
There was no straight men being manipulated anywhere in the story like Tati mentioned. Later on in the conversation, he asked when I was leaving Seattle and I told him the next morning, to which he responded, I wish we had time to hang out. And I said, hey, why don't you come over to my hotel tonight? We can watch a movie together. He said, sounds good. Later on, he messaged me first and told me, hey, straight up, I've never done anything with a guy before. I'm a little bit nervous. To which I told him there was absolutely no pressure. This is all shown in the screenshots. Sam showed up at the hotel. We watched the movie together and we cuddled. After the movie, I asked him if he wanted to kiss, to which he said yes.
I get to the hotel room, we say hi, it's all fine. We end up watching a movie. And after that movie, he asked to kiss me. I said yes. And we ended up making out for around an hour. And if I'm being honest, he's the worst kisser I've ever kissed. Way too much tongue.
All right, note taken. After making out with Sam for over an hour, I did invite him to sleep over at the hotel.
And he kept telling me to stay, like, please stay, don't leave me. All this and that, but I really wanted to go home, so I left.
Of course, I wanted to spend more time with him, but he said that he wanted to go home and be in his own bed and think about everything that was going on because it was quite a lot, and I definitely understood and did not blame him. He then left and sent me a message afterwards thanking me for being so understanding, and I told him that I would always be there for him if he needed literally anything. Point being, everything that happened in the hotel room was 100% consensual, and this is confirmed.
I said yes.
By the only two parties that were actually there being myself and Sam. After this night, Sam and I continued to talk for the next several weeks. At first, it was really, really great, but I noticed that his feelings towards me and sexuality were kind of wavering quite a lot, and I came to the conclusion that he needed to figure himself out and that I needed to move on because I kept getting hurt. Last important note to keep in mind about the timeline of the whole situation. On May 2nd, Sam texted me from his friend's phone saying that he was fully gay and needed to talk to me about something important. I called him, and instead of talking about that, he asked me if I was talking to another guy at the same time that I was talking to him. I was a little bit confused as to why I was being asked this, but I did answer him honestly, and then I asked him what made him come to a conclusion with everything. To which he said, I'm actually not fully gay. After dealing with this a million times, I was frustrated, and I hung up. Just to clarify, so there are no further questions, the point of including this screenshot is not to out Sam. Sam texted me saying he was fully gay, but it was a trap to get me on FaceTime so he could illegally record the conversation to include in the video that he was planning later on. Like I said, at the end of the conversation, I asked Sam how he came to this conclusion, and then he told me he was not fully gay, to which I hung up out of frustration. Later on, he texted me saying he was confirmed bi. This is why, in Sam's video, he included a screenshot of me telling him I did not think he was fully straight. This comment had a lot of people really upset and confused as to why I was telling somebody their sexuality, but there's a very simple explanation. Sam and I talked for a very, very long time, and his sexuality, like I said, wavered a lot. Every time that he was a little bit confused, we had open and honest conversations about it, and he always asked me my input, and I gave it to him. I would never out somebody, and I have never, ever tried to manipulate somebody's sexuality, including his, point blank period. The whole situation that happened with Sam was very, very long and complicated and left both of us very hurt and confused. And through trying to deal with this, I reached out to many of my different friends for advice. There was one night in my kitchen where Tati, James, and Gabriel all came over, and I told them the same exact story and showed them the same exact screenshots that all of you guys just saw. After hearing this, like Tati said in her video, Tati and James actually did have a heart-to-heart conversation with me about the boys that I get involved with. They told me that talking to curious guys was going to continue to get me hurt, and that also it could look really, really bad from an outside perspective if somebody tried to manipulate the situation. And for me, this was a major, major wake-up call that I took to heart because I honestly had never thought about it in any other way because I knew that everything that I was doing was always consensual between both me and the boy, and I had receipts to back it up. But I wish I knew at the time that Tati's advice was really a warning because she did exactly what she told me someone else may, which was tell my story with no details, no facts, and no proof, and twist it around, and now serious allegations have surfaced that could permanently damage my career. Now, like I said, the talk that happened in my kitchen, I really did appreciate because it was the first time I kind of took a step back and was able to analyze what was going on. And this week has been a major eye-opener for me as well. I want to take a brief moment to talk about boys. Boys have obviously been a topic that has been discussed quite in detail on my YouTube channel and social media networks. This is no secret. I wish it hadn't been, but if I'm going to talk about it one last time, I definitely want to be open and honest with you guys, the ones who matter. I came out of the closet as gay at age 12, which is honestly really, really young to kind of figure all of that out. I had two other boys in my school at the time who were gay, but we were all close friends, so nothing was happening there, if you know what I mean. But all my other friends were having their first kiss underneath the playground slide or getting into their first relationship and talking all about it. And for me, I was on Pop Tropica and social media networks trying to make friends and trying to find out what else I was interested in. I never really got the opportunity to experiment with love and learn from that as a growing teenager, and I think that that's honestly left me kind of underdeveloped as a person in a lot of different ways. I've been forced to grow up very, very quickly because of the job that I work in social media, which I know I've said a million times beforehand, but love and relationships is something that I have barely any experience in, and I honestly think that that's why I'm a lot less mature than others may be in the situations that I get myself into. I definitely am emotional, and I let that get the best of me sometimes. I can be dramatic, I'm reactive, I'm forward, I'm flirty, and these are qualities that I'm not necessarily proud of at all, but I can confidently say that with each experience I'm learning more and more, and I've been able to better myself. But a lot of times these situations have become public, my own fault, but having millions of people watching you learn can be very, very tricky. When it comes to experiences that I've learned from in the past, a lot of times I've talked about being into straight guys. Now, this conversation is something that has upset and also confused quite a lot of people. So in order to provide a little bit more context, I would like to play a clip from Tati's friend Jeffree Star's video titled "The Truth About My Relationship."
I was single for a long time, and the reason why is because I am really not attracted to anyone but what we call in this world as a straight male or a normal dude. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, I am really into straight guys, and I know that is going to not be surprising to a lot of you. So, you know, from just traveling everywhere and meeting dudes all the time and being around that world for so long, I really kind of fell into a trap of always being someone that was kept like the secret. And when you are someone like me who is, you know, I get asked all the time, even every day on my channel, you guys, I get comments, are you a guy? Are you a girl? Are you transgender? Are you trying to transition? What are you? Being someone that is like me, that is a guy that looks like a woman, right? I keep doing this because so many people are not into labels these days, and I love that. I'm all about that. You do you, call yourself whatever you want, whatever you believe in. I think that is the beauty and the freedom of, you know, living, is we can be whoever we want to be. I've always been into straight men, and the problem with that my entire life is I never found real love, because straight men behind closed doors, they love people like me, they love hooking up, they love having fun, they love the relationship as long as other people don't know.
I really like this clip from Jeffrey's video because not only is everything in it very accurate, but I honestly feel like he did a great job of explaining a topic that is very confusing and complex and that not a lot of people understand, including me fully, to be honest. Yes, as a gay man, I am attracted to men, and in the past, whenever I have found a guy cute on Instagram or on social media, I have slid in the DMs with a simple hello or a nice compliment. If anybody ever made it clear that they were not interested or were not gay and didn't want to talk, I always apologized for the unwanted attention, and the conversation was put to a halt immediately. I do take full responsibility for sending these messages, and this situation has definitely taught me that sending messages that are so forward and direct like this are unacceptable, and I no longer will do that moving forward. A few different guys that I've talked to in the past have since came forward with their stories or posted screenshots of conversations that I had with them saying that I made them feel uncomfortable, and reading some of them, I honestly felt really, really bad. I reached out to all the boys directly and apologized to them for my actions. But aside from those few guys, people are treating hashtag Jame Charles' over party as an open invitation to add to the narrative with lies, which is not only harmful to me, but it's also creating very, very dangerous stereotypes around the LGBTQ+ community. For example, Zara Larsson, who's a pretty big singer, tweeted saying that I messaged her boyfriend multiple times knowing he was straight. And this tweet got almost 500,000 likes before it was deleted. In her defense, she did later on say that it was only one message, but it was way too late because the media had already ran with it, saying that I was harassing straight men and wouldn't leave him alone. Had I known that he was dating Zara Larsson, I clearly never would have messaged him in the first place, but this is all very hypocritical considering this is how Zara Larsson found her boyfriend. I'd like to pose a question to you, the audience, and ask, why is it okay for Zara Larsson, a woman with a public platform, to tweet these photos of a shirtless man and say, who are you, where do you live, how old are you, why are you so fine, and how do you like your eggs cooked in the morning? But for me, as a gay man, to DM the same person in private with a simple compliment is predatory. These stereotypes around gay men have been and continue to be very, very harmful to the community and have been historically used to villainize gay men in society. Someone completely fabricated a whole entire story about me touching another boy in a high school urinal, and it blew up. This person came forward a few days later saying that it was a social experiment, but it was too late. People also completely photoshopped Twitter DMs of me reaching out to these people, threatening legal action if they were to tweet more things, when in reality I have literally not even been on social media, and I deleted the Twitter app from my phone. So all these things are just so false and are so fake, and it's truly disgusting. Also, pretty much every boy that I've ever even communicated with at this point is posting screenshots of our conversation to make a spectacle of me. I've dealt with so many fake stories in the past, from Coachella, the fake sex tape, and now this, and I'm done. I'm done being the subject of these bandwagon stories for likes. It's not okay.